Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading. What's up, Virgo? Welcome to your January monthly tarot card reading. Happy New Year, happy 2021. Timestamps are right down below. We're going to start off with messages of love and romance, relationships, and the second half timestamp below will be career, finances, and money. Okay, so let's hop in. Let's connect with Virgo's energy. Messages they need to hear and know and see in the month of January. Timeline of manifestation is up to you. Okay, Virgo? Here we go. What's on the dock for love? Let's see. So possibly another Virgo's actually coming in. First card out the deck is the Hermit. Let me just silence my computer real quick so I don't get all the dings. So there might be some complications or some confusion with, it could be with your family. I am reading for romantic love, but, messages about family may come through in this, so just be aware of that. Yeah, there was something where there's too many cooks in the kitchen, or however you want to say it, too many opinions being kind of thrown into the mix, and I think you're sort of being asked to move away from that, to separate it, because it's sort of being very intrusive on your current love and relationship life. So it could be that you're with a partner that your family doesn't necessarily approve of or they don't really like. There's almost like a waiting for the smoke to clear. Something could have gone down where, it could have been an argument during, the holidays or something, and somebody misspoke, somebody said something out of turn, somebody misstepped, or however you want to say it. It's kind of like you're being asked to sort of remove yourself from that, introspectively, and you might still be doing this with your person, but it's like, rather than fighting fire with fire, you're sort of being asked to move away from it, to distance yourself from it, because I'm going to be honest, you have kind of some crazy cards here to start with. The kind of like it's not necessarily someone who's backstabbing, but somebody who may be talking behind your back or saying things about your person, but I don't know, this isn't like a high vibrational energy. I don't really like that here. So Knight of Wands always encourages you to go towards what you are passionate about, what you love, who you love. And for some of you, you're at a bit of a crossroads because you love your family, but for some of you right now, it's like you don't want to be around them. There's something very annoying to you about it. And somewhere in the mix, this has to do with your love life. Maybe you guys just feel suffocated by your family. And so if you're trying to date or this or that, you're just like, there's almost like an oppressive feeling about removing yourself from the group. Now, if this isn't you, Virgo, that could indicate that that's what your person is going through. You may also be dealing with a Scorpio or an Aries here. So there is offers coming in. So whether this represents the person you're currently dating or entertaining, or possibly someone new, Knight of Cups is the one who comes in with, romantic offers, kind of hopeless romantic night. That's sort of how I would say it. Lots of lovey-dovey, sweet, cuddly energy. We'll see if it can maintain. Sometimes that kind of tapers off the way kind of it does with the Knight of Wands. So yeah, here's the thing. You have two knights. So you are typically, depicted to me as Earth, right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That's usually Pentacles, right? Doesn't have to be, but some of you may have an option between a fire knight, Aries, Leo, Sag, and a water knight, which would be Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And then again, you do double confirmation on the Scorpio and the Aries, and then you do have the card of Virgo. So this might just be you, right? But you might be dealing with another one. I'm going to be honest, it's kind of confusing me as a reader. I'm not sure what to do with it, so I want to add more and tell you more. Let's see if the Knight of Cups comes out again. So tell me more about Virgo's current romantic life or their energy. So maybe that was just an individual storyline about you needing to step away from a group of friends or a group of family. It's just like, I just see distance from, it's a lot, like, again, too many cooks in the kitchen. So maybe that doesn't have to do with your romantic partner. Maybe you guys are going to get away and do something together and kind of get away from the rest. Let's see, what else can I tell Virgo? Okay, so there might be, these are strong cards. Okay, so Some of you are celebrating news of pregnancy or starting a family. Some of you are reuniting with someone from the past, and you might even end up moving in together. I have to be honest though, if that doesn't make sense to you, you do have a lot of cards of family. And if it's not you, Virgo, who's the, embracing motherhood or starting to get pregnant or whatever the terminology would be, there's something about the mother and the family dynamic. The thing is, this is a very happy card. This is a very jovial card. This is people getting together and, obviously safely, social distantly, right? But it's a reason to rejoice, to be happy, to celebrate, to hang out with your soul tribe, your family, whether it's chosen or by blood. It could, again, indicate something transpired during a social gathering. And I don't know if you're angry at your mother right now, or they're sort of putting you in a corner, or something about the family dynamic. It's either really good or it's saying it was at one time and how do we get that back? So I'm going to kind of switch this to romantic love because I'm not really here to read about family stuff. If you want a personal reading, absolutely book one with me. We can dig deeper into that. But some of you have big things to celebrate. So it could be with the Empress, you may get word of a new job. You may be moving into a new household or a new home. You may be restructuring or reordering your life to make room for your romantic partner. Quite simply, this is a card of dating, going out and mingling with people. I wouldn't say this is a card of locking it down exclusively, but trying people on for size, chit-chatting, seeing what you guys have in common. So some of you are dealing with someone who already has a child. They may be a single parent, or that could be you as well, Virgo. Somebody in the scenario already has like at one point in time had a wife or a husband and child. So this could be someone who went through a divorce recently, in which case maybe they're on the market again and you're reconnecting with them. And it's interesting that message has come up a few times, especially in Capricorn's reading of, I don't think this is a bad message, but it's being relayed to me as like, oh, it's like a monkey wrench. It's kind of awkward to deal with. And that if you're dating someone who has, shared kids with their ex, that ex will probably always be in your life. And so I think it's saying, understand that. Don't make enemies with the ex-wife. It happened, but I'm almost being called to say, in some reason, you need to be grateful and thankful for that person because somehow the stars aligned where your person divorced their ex-wife or their ex-husband and they somehow made it into your soul path. So instead of making enemies with like, oh, the ex-wife, or especially if your current partner like kind of speaks negatively about them, I would not feed off of that energy and become like this little, it's us versus her, us versus, like, I don't see that going well. If anything, it's saying, can we all just get along? Can we just make this work? Can we be friends? Especially again, if there's children going from one house to the other and whatever, it's like, can we be the mom? Can we make sure everyone's kind of under our wing and taking care of everyone, right? And I don't mean that in a monetary sense. I just mean energetically, can we be kind? Can we be nice? Can we put our best foot forward and not participate in kind of like mean girl energy? That's sort of what I see as a very good piece of advice for you. And if that doesn't have to do with sharing kids, it may have to do with their family. If they come from a home or a background where they don't love their family, but you go visit them for the holidays, I think it would be wise, obviously, to support your person, your husband, your wife, but it's almost like you need to be the neutral grounds rather than making enemies with the family when you have no history with them. It's like, it's a very important message for you to hear, Virgo. It's like, can we just get along? You may end up being the pacifist in a situation, especially if there's like an awkward family dynamic. Something went down in the family and there's like bad blood. It may be over money and finances. Maybe somebody loaned someone money and they didn't pay them back. Whatever it is, it's like life is too short. Let's just get over it. Let's work through the problem. You may be the initiator of that sort of mediation, or especially if you have strong Libra in your chart, right? Being kind of the pacifist of the group. So if for those who are looking to start a family, especially if you're already with your person of many years or whatever, you may hear news of pregnancy. And I know some of you are like, oh, that's not me. So it's funny, it's going to happen in a line. In fact, there's going to be news of 3 pregnancies. Obviously not all in the same family, obviously not all in a row, but it could be like, oh, your cousin gets pregnant, and then your best friend 3 months later gets pregnant, and then it's like the third one may end up being you. So again, the timeline of that is flexible. I can't tell you the timeline, but there's news of 3 pregnancies. That's a very cool message. And for some of you, it's with a Cancer, a Taurus, or a Libra. All right, so then Ace of Swords. Let's hop into a new one. This may be related to something I've already said, but we'll hop into something new. So some of you have a new air sign coming in, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But one of you was either holding back from the communication, or this is someone you're holding on to mentally and still thinking about them. So let me tell you more. Some of you, there's wandering eyes towards a Scorpio. So somewhere in that mix, I don't know if this is someone you started something with and then they ended up dating a Scorpio. Somewhere in that mix, there might be a Scorpio involved too. A Scorpio brother too. Are you dating their brother now, Virgo? Is that what's going on? I'm just kidding. A Scorpio or a Capricorn is showing through here, or again, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, so there's something good between earth and air here. Absolutely. This is very likely new. I'm almost getting the universe was holding on your timelines crossing, or however you want to say it. It's like you both have an ace. You were both doing a lot of work on yourself, on your spirituality, on your business, spending time with your family. Really, the aces start with us. So you were doing something good for your own prosperity, however you want to say that. The universe, it's almost like they were like, oh, those two. I'm almost seeing you guys as, I mean this in a funny kind of humorous way. I almost see it as the universe seeing you guys as chess pieces, and it's like they were moving you guys closer, but they're like, not yet. Like there's something about the universe was trying to orchestrate this so that you guys met at a time where it could actually succeed, right? You could actually have a solid foundation together and form a nice little relationship there. And that's sort of what I mean. If this hasn't happened yet, it's because you're dealing with the aftermath of some family dynamic that went crazy. So that wouldn't have been a good time to just throw a random person in your pathway and your destiny, because it's like you again, too many cooks in the kitchen. There were too many obstacles in the way. Universe wants this to get off the ground in a very pleasant, harmonious way. So they might be holding back on introducing you to your person until it's at a time where you're ready for it. You're ready and able to accept new blessings in your life. So, and that has been a major theme in all my Capricorn readings, Virgo, is, we're in that earth energy, which you are an earth sign as well. It's really about focusing on ourselves, our body, our home, our money, our tangible goods, our possessions. So whether that's cleaning out the closet and getting rid of old junk, or, saving up our money to invest in a new home or a new, swimming pool, whatever it is, that's what we're being asked to focus on. Yes, relationships, if you already have them, it's about maintaining them, sure. And I'm not saying you won't be dating and seeing people in Capricorn season. Of course you will. But there's something about where I don't think you're going to feel the spark and the romance of it until possibly a little bit later. In fact, you may meet this person and just start off as friends and not really wanting or desiring anymore, but some of you may have a change of heart and that you're like, oh, maybe I am interested in this. Again, earth signs, it could be another earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or it could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This person's very good with their money. I heard almost too good. No, they're good with their money, but they're a little bit stingy. So they're not going to spend a lot. Like this is, I don't mean to offend when I say this, whether it's you or your person, but they're a little bit cheap, like in terms of how much they're willing to dish out for money. Here's the thing, they're very business savvy, so that they know if they're going to pay for something, they want it to be good quality and they want it to be worth it. But you may write them off as like, oh, they're a little bit tight, or they're a little bit stingy. Like I don't know if you guys exchange gifts, their Christmas gift to you may be a little bit underwhelming. But the reason being, if this truly does end up being something bigger down the line, it's because they're saving to get something important, right? Something with more substance to it. Let's see. Something about a wedding ring, and it may come from this message has come up a lot too. Some in the bloodline and the ancestors. So if whoever is doing the proposing, right, it may be a ring that they got from their mother or their grandmother or whoever. That might be being passed down. But what is this Five of Cups about? So some of you are interested in someone, but it feels like they got taken away by something. And so that message has a lot of layers to it, doesn't it? If we were to dissect what that actually means. I feel like something happened. Something, again, like it got lost in the smoke or cloudiness, confusion, almost Neptune energy. You thought you knew what you were looking at. You thought it was something good and solid. Then, off away it went. Like it flew off into the distance, and I think you guys are kind of sad about that. So it could be that your person, especially if you were just starting to date, they may have gotten some sort of travel opportunity, or they had to go take care of their family, and it involved both physical distance as well as emotional distance between you, and I think you're hoping you can rekindle the magic, or you're hoping to get it back. Others of you, I do see it as they chose somebody else. So here's what I'm going to say to that. Could it reconnect in the future? Possibly, but for the time being, universe is like, don't even worry about it. It's not the one. So, if you feel like you missed out on someone because they chose someone else, have faith that that was not the one for you. And if it is, universe will help orchestrate it to get them back into your life, but that's not really up to you. So you don't need to worry about trying to, you don't need to do the whole, I'm going to look up their Instagram and see if they're still with them. Don't worry about that. It's like it's cloud clouding your head with thoughts you don't need. Focus on the new. Again, focus on you and your body and your health. As always, that's a good idea for you, Virgo. Because again, this is someone else. This is someone who the universe is waiting on introducing them to you because they want it to be a clean slate. They don't want you to be carrying around a lot of mental or emotional baggage from the ex or the lost love. They want it to come in at a time where you're ready to receive things and you're not going to question, well, this one seems good, but what about that? Like when they present it, they want you to be like, yes, this seems good, and vice versa. They want this to come together again when harmoniously with balance. So what just fell into my lap? Yeah, focus on your manifestations and your wishes. That's you, right? The magician. You have all the tools on your table. You have a lot to offer in a relationship. You can manifest great things for yourself and also in a romantic partner. So don't settle for like small potatoes, right? The ones that are disappointing, I understand, right? You saw something in it. You saw something you thought it had a lot of value and worth. It filled your cup. It filled your heart. You were very passionate about this person. For some reason or another, something ended, but two cups remain, but I don't think it comes in the same person or the same form that you thought it was going to. Some of you may be manifesting an Aquarius into your life. This is also saying you haven't been forgotten, right? With the star, there's many stars in the sky, but the star is the big one, right? That woman focused on her own growth and her own healing, her connection to the divine and a higher source. It's saying the universe sees you, so make sure you are asking for blessings and able to accept them, right? Make your intentions known in terms of what you want. So whether you do candle magic or new moon manifestations or whatever that is, focus on manifesting what it is that you really want, and don't settle for the ones that are not doing good for your energy, really, for your soul's alignment, for your soul's journey here. Yeah, some of you are manifesting an Aquarius or another Virgo, possibly a Gemini. Let's switch decks. Let's do one more. For some of you, I do see you celebrating engagements and babies. In fact, some of you may be giving birth very soon. I feel like I just called you Libra. Did I do that? If I didn't, it's because I'm seeing a Libra card. So I apologize if I did, Virgo. And I know you had a lot of cards about like equilibrium and being the pacifist and the peacemaker. So I feel like I'm connecting with a bunch of Virgos who maybe have very strong Libra in their chart. But I do apologize. I know that drives people nuts when I call them the wrong zodiac sign, but you would understand if you were a tarot card reader because you're constantly looking at different zodiac signs. So sometimes it just happens. But anyway. Whoa. Oof. I didn't even mean to pull this deck, but I think it's really cool that I did. Okay, so this is an oracle deck. We're just going to go with it. Strength, mountain. So let's see. This makes me think of Capricorn, the mountain goat. So this could be a timestamp, too, of Capricorn season. It's about getting your strength together, getting your life back in order, thinking more practically, and the idea of ascending the mountain, reaching higher, aiming higher for love that you truly want and truly deserve. Strength also makes me think of the Leo card, right? Leo's card is strength and the sun. So you may be manifesting a Leo, or it may be saying there's a wedge growing between you and your Leo too. I could also see it as that. Again, possibly something with a Capricorn is coming in. And then breath, forest, and generations and ancestors. Very cool. So if you are all about the spiritual realm, this says to me that your ancestors get in touch with you best, Virgo, when you are out in nature. So whether it's summer or winter or wherever you are in the world, spend some time in nature. Quite literally take a breath in, deep in the forest or out in nature, because it's like it's opening your soul up to receive messages and confirmations from the universe. So this came out in your love message for a reason. You may also be focusing on kind of breaking ancestral karma, right? If you've always grown up in a household where, I'm just throwing this out there, maybe the women were always very financially reliant on men. Maybe you're going to be the one to break that karmic cycle and sort of regenerate this beautiful like lineage for your family, or say all the men in your family were alcoholics or women. It doesn't matter. It's saying there might be something that it's almost like I hate to use the word ancestral curse because it sounds so spooky, but essentially something that's always been a standard, something that's always been it's always been set in stone is, oh, well, that's the way it's been in the family. You may be the one to actually turn the corner and be like, not anymore. I'm going to change that. You're very powerful, Virgo. So yeah, I'm just being called to say, pay attention to your manifestations and really kind of like earth magic type stuff. I don't know whatever you guys practice or believe spiritually. That's entirely your business and up to you. I'm not here to push anything on you, but you're capable of manifesting great things. So don't settle. And also look at your bloodline and what you grew up believing and thinking, and understand that's not necessarily your truth, and it doesn't have to be anymore. You guys may be, again, regeneration, the idea of growth and rebirth. So I'm almost getting the metaphor of like something popping up in the spring, something that like blooms seasonally. it's a metaphor for something that's going on internally inside of you. There's a change of seasons almost internally. I know that's kind of a funny way of phrasing it, but that's sort of what I'm seeing there. Major earth energy here with the forest, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then ancestors makes me think of Cancerian energy, our past, our upbringing, our roots, our ancestry, that kind of thing. So possibly something with a Cancer or another earth sign is coming through. Let's do one more quick love message, and then we'll move on to your career and finances. So let's see. Let's do this deck, I guess. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, give me just a quick storyline for one more random love message for Virgo, something they need to hear in January 2021. For my Virgos, what might be coming in for them in the coming month or two? My Virgos, let's connect with my Virgos out there. All right. Ooh, Virgo. So yeah, this can definitely be a card of the Cinderella story, the fairy tale, the dreams coming true. That's a great card. I will also say it does have a tremendous amount to do with family. So maybe you're just enjoying family life, right? If you already have a husband or kids or this or that, or you're with your family, whether you're single or with your person, you're spending time with family and you're really enjoying it. That might be the major message of Capricorn season for you. And that's not something to turn your nose up at. That's a very beautiful message, especially if you're going through an awkward family dynamic. Something about this, the harmony will be restored, especially with your Pisces or Sagittarius. Okay, moving on. Some of you are going to have triplets or twins, multiple children very close to one another. Okay, triplets, again, the 3 babies. There's news of 3 pregnancies. I don't think it's right in a row, but you're going to know if that's your message. You're going to be like, oh shit, that was right. Anyway. And again, it doesn't have to be you, but it could be your family. There could be news of 3 babies arriving, the same year or something like that. So there's your Knight of Cups. Awesome. Let's talk about that Knight of Cups, because that's the second time he's kind of shown up. What is this Knight of Cups offering to Virgo? It could be someone who's gotten out of a long-term marriage or someone who is divorced. They may be coming in to test the waters with you. Again, Pisces is coming through very strongly here. Yeah, this person reaches out to you. And the thing is, they kind of see, I don't know if this is true, but their perspective on it is that you're in very high demand. So there's something, I'm almost thinking they're a little bit intimidated to reach out because they don't know if you're actually single or available. Or it could be something confusing where they don't really know where they stand with you, if this is someone from the past and maybe it got a little bit muddled or messy. Or I don't really sense that. So far, none of the cards are like, ooh, red flags. So this could be someone new. The message still stands, though. They may be out of a long-term commitment. So word to the wise, like I always tell you, just make sure they've done their healing work, that they're not just looking for a quick fix, a hit it and quit it type thing, unless that's what you're interested in. And, by all means, it's your life. But yeah, there's something about this person take some sort of risk to extend some sort of offer or gesture to you, not knowing how it's going to land. That's sort of how I keep getting it. But the thing is, you would never know that they were fearful or feeling intimidated because they come off as very confident. I don't necessarily think cocky. I am seeing a few cards of Leo. Just going to put it out there. I love my Leos. High Priestess. So your intuition may already know who this is. Because some of you have been waiting on communication from this person for quite some time. Something with apples is significant here. Apple, maybe it's the color apple red, or okay, it's probably temptation. So you may have been tempted to reach out to this person, and it could have been someone who broke up with you, and you were like, as much as I want to, temptation, right? I'm not going to because I know it's not for my highest vibration. And this is saying, this is your message, Virgo, if you have been kicking ass spiritually on your own path. If you have been the High Priestess, if you've been sitting there patiently and going deep within the depths of your intuition and your subconscious and doing kind of the energetic work on your own spiritual path and in your love life, you may actually hear from someone. And even if it's not, I'm almost getting because it's the High Priestess, this psychic ability where it could be someone who you haven't thought of in years, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I wonder how so-and-so is doing, and then they message you. There's some sort of crazy circumstance like that where it really is your intuition kicking in, and you may write it off as coincidence. In fact, some of you definitely will. You won't even remember, but there's something where you thought about this person, or you saw a picture of them in an old album, and there was this moment of, oh yeah, so-and-so, I wonder what they're up to, and then they connect with you on Facebook or something like that. There's some sort of psychic or intuitive hit you get about this person. I don't know if it's about them reaching out, but that's sort of the result of all this. The universe is saying to me that you may have known them in another lifetime too. So if this person is new, and they might be, you guys may have been married in another lifetime or something. You may have been siblings in another lifetime, It's a very cool message. So a lot of water energy here. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, a little bit of Leo energy. Tell me a little bit more about this. Yeah, patience yields or breeds very good results for you. Taking it just a step at a time, taking it a day at a time. Something about your breath work is very important. I don't know if you're doing something like yoga or I actually just heard tantric yoga. That's kind of like sexual, isn't it, right? That's cool, though. Whatever works for you. But that may be filling not a void, not a gap, because that has a negative connotation, but it's supplementing something to your life, and it's almost like a healthy sexual outlet if you are not in a partnership right now. So there might be something to that for you guys. For those of you for those of my Virgos who have a mother who is no longer here in the 3D, or even a grandmother, a maternal figure of some kind, an aunt who is no longer here. I'm not predicting death, just to be very clear. That person is trying to send you important messages and communication, so please open yourself up to receive those if you feel like that is your message, okay? Okay, this is kind of a beautiful message, Virgo. So there's a message here about, especially for those who have an ancestor who has passed, that you were I shouldn't say ancestor, a family member, someone you were very close to, who, it's almost like they're your guardian angel. It's nothing to fear. It's not like, creepy ghost stuff at all. There's something about a very beautiful maternal presence that watches over you. It's very likely your grandmother or something like that. I'm almost getting this message of, well, if I could pick who Virgo was going to end up with, it's almost like that's the message this spirit, this energy is trying to send to you. And it's about making a healthy decision from like a healthy vibration about who is going to set you up for the best success in your future. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean, monetary wise. I'm not trying to make it icky. It's almost like this is for most of you, it is a female figure who they meant a lot to you. You would really respect and appreciate their opinion. It's almost like I'm hearing all on red. It's like I would put my bets on this one. Your spirit guide is trying to send you messages. If you're feeling lost in love and you don't know who to pick or who to choose, open yourself up to those messages from the divine, because it will give you clarity of some kind. And your Tower card that came out, much earlier in this spread, it might be saying you're just kind of confused on almost like identity crisis. Like, I thought I knew who I was and what I wanted, and then that ended, and now I don't know, and am I always going to be single? And like, when is it like there's a lot of questions, and I think there's an overwhelming sense of emotion where if you again get kind of lost in that anxiety or that worry about being with someone, you may actually miss out on a really good opportunity because there's too much confusion. Again, too many cooks in the kitchen. I'm even going to say this, for some of my Virgos, you have too many options of who you just want to date. And there's some message about, can we weed them out and looked at, honestly, with Earth energy, I know this isn't the most sexy message, but it's like, who's the most practical person for you in your life, right? I'm not saying it's not going to be fun and sexy and passionate and full of love. Of course it will be. But you also need to date someone who kind of has their shit together. That's sort of what I'm getting. And like, that, your spirit guides know that. But I feel like for some of you, you're making it more difficult than it needs to be. And obviously this isn't everybody's message, but there's something here about if you were to open yourself to receive communications. I'm even going to say it this way. If you actually stop and thought, well, who would so-and-so want? If I have 3 really good options and I kind of like them all or whatever, who would grandma want? Or who would she put her bets on? You know instantly which one. So why are you making it more complicated by entertaining the idea of others? Now, it's your life, Virgo. You should pick and choose exactly who you want. But what I'm getting at is this is an opinion that you would value. It is an opinion you would trust very much because this person knows you. Not me. I don't know you, right? I'm just reading the cards. I'm looking at the energies. The decision is not that hard. And for some of you, you haven't met this person yet. So you're looking at these 3 options like, well, they're all okay. Maybe none of them are okay. In terms of like long-term stability, commitment, if you're looking to build a life with someone, I don't know. I put my bets on the Capricorn here. That's what that's saying. Anyway, Virgo, that's what I got for you. Let's talk about your career and finances. Ooh, there's a King of Cups too. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Very strong Scorpio energy there for me. That's what I mean, though. They may be hidden away. The idea of the water sign, the crab, the scorpion, whatever. It's like they may not have crawled out of their shell and almost like exposed themselves to like make it known that they want to be in your life or that they want to ask you out. There may be a water sign hidden away. Like they haven't come to into your life yet. Your timelines haven't crossed yet. In fact, that might be who universe is like holding on. Interesting. Those are very positive messages, Virgo. So I do hope that meant something to you. Let's talk about your career. You guys don't want to hear about money, right? No, I'm just kidding. My earth signs, you guys are like, just tell me about money. I don't care about love. Actually, that's the least true for Virgo. I feel like you're always down for both. All right, so possibly a new job offer working with a Leo. You may also be working with, this message keeps coming up, it's so funny, children or animals. I don't mean to lump those two together by any means. I know that sounds really weird but it's something about something sweet, something innocent, something that needs to be nurtured, that kind of thing. So, yeah, some of you may be working with animals or even offering time at like adoption shelters or whatever, something like that. Some of you are going to be school teachers. You are, it has something to do with your energy. It's like you're a ball full of love and energy. So whatever you're doing, you're putting your heart and soul into it. And there's just like this warm, nurturing type, almost like maternal, mothering type energy in whatever you do. So whether you're involved in sales or government or the law or whatever, you're doing it with I'm almost getting Venus energy. So some of you have very strong like Venus placements, and it may even have to do with your career. Like you may have Venus in your 10th house or something like that. You're doing it with like a huge amount of love and possibly creativity. Some of you are going to be dancers, or doing something very athletic with the body. You may even be starting some sort of athletic course or training course, and maybe you're going to promote yourself on, YouTube videos. You may be showing people how to work out or how to tone these muscles or doing something with like body work. Some of you are going to be hairdressers. I see you cutting hair and maybe doing wigs. And yeah, I'm actually seeing Edward Scissorhands. That's funny. So something, and it doesn't just have to be, hair salon, hairdresser, but if that's you, more power to you. That looks very good. That's very strong. That will fill your bank account because you're very skilled at that. If that's not you, it may have to do with, I feel like I've said this to you before, like glamorization, beauty products, marketing to, cosmetic lines, or something to do with like physical beauty, the idea of even like costuming, you do up your hair, you put on the dress, and it doesn't have to be feminine either. This could easily go for both my masculines and something in a more, masculine attire, whatever that means nowadays, right? But yeah, it's something to do with clothing, the body, the form. Some of you maybe like sketching form figures. All right, what can I tell a Virgo in terms of strategies about money in the coming months? What is the major message Virgo needs to hear about their money? A collaboration, possibly with your husband or your wife. Some of you are going to start a business out of your home, or with your romantic partner. Some of you may sparks may fly and romance may fly between you and a client or a vendor. So, I mean, I'm not sure I would advocate mixing business with pleasure, but I do see it, so I'm not going to deny that. Teamwork, though. When I ask, what can I tell Virgo about their money strategy, working with teams and people who support you. Many hands make light work, so don't spread yourself too thin by trying to be the hero and do everything. Ask for help. It's something about many sparks are going to create the fire. This is not about doing it all on your own. This is about asking for help or creating a very strong, it's not just self-reliant. That's great, and you should be self-reliant, but this to me is specifically saying it's time to work with someone else. That person who you've been toying with, collaborating with, there's no time like the present, because it's like the fire is hot, the sparks, something with the fire, the ember, the sparks. I keep getting those. It's like you guys are going to, when you light one match off the other, it kind of has that little explosion for a moment. That's what I mean. There's a very good collaboration for my Virgos right now. Some of you are going to be graduating with, maybe it's from college, or maybe you took an extra course, you got that extra certificate, that extra degree, and you're gonna be like, why didn't I do this years ago? I feel incredible. It opens doors for you. So that could also be a metaphor of put your final zest and energy into it, even if it's growing weary, if it's growing old, it's getting laborious and exhausting trying to get that extra course or take those extra night classes. Know that at the end of it, you are going to be so happy. Graduating, whatever that means for you, ending that cycle where you've achieved a huge amount of knowledge. Possibly also, the world indicates ups and downs. It hasn't been an easy battle, but you're there and you've made it to the end, and it's going to be a new chapter. Your new chapter is taking a leap towards your wish fulfillment, your 9 of Cups. This is huge, Virgo. I don't mean to overhype it, but these cards are incredible. 8 of Wands means energy, swift, forward, rapid movement, action. Again, something that's more Mars energy. So for those Virgos who have very strong, maybe Scorpio or Aries placements, there's something about your zest, your endurance, your energy. You may be doing something, again, in the athletic field or athletic arena, career. I don't know if you're a coach or an athletic trainer or a nutritionist or a dietitian or something about that. You may be actually encouraging people to go after their wish fulfillment by helping them get their body in the right place. Or it could even be mentally, mind, body, and spirit. If you're tremendously spiritual, maybe you're teaching yoga, maybe you're teaching kickboxing. You help other people live out their best life or chase their dreams, because it's almost like you help them hit reset on their own bodies. You may even be like a life coach or something like that, a counselor. Some of you are going to work as marriage counselors, and it's because you grew up in a home that was very unstable. So that's beautiful, Virgo. That's like taking a shitty scenario and making something very beautiful out of it. And I'm not saying that's all of your lives, but that's what's so important about tarot, is it really is about embracing that shadow side and really looking and examining at all the things that haven't gone right and taking something away from that and making it good, making something beautiful out of it, right? A lotus flower grows through the mud. I've been saying that a lot, and that card has come up several times. There's something really cool about something in your life that maybe you're ashamed of, or it's a darker aspect of your personality and you feel like it has to be hidden or concealed. It's almost like by not touching it, you're avoiding the epiphany or the lesson, the karmic spiritual lesson that's tied to it. So universe is like, no, go deep, dig deep. Let's talk about what makes you uncomfortable and let's find out why, so that we can get rid of it once and for all. Or I'm even going to say this, advantageously use that part of ourselves and do something beautiful with it. Give back to humanity. If, again, growing up in a turbulent household where there was arguments or physical abuse, it's understanding, wow, that was my story and I made it, but barely. So I want to help other kids so that they don't have to go through that. So again, you can take that metaphor in different areas of your life. It doesn't have to be that severe, right? But it's taking something that was very difficult for you and becoming the master of it, really, right? With a graduation. It's launching yourself into some new project or career or collaboration in which you're using the tools on your tool belt because you have them and not everybody else does. And that's what makes you special, Virgo. That's what makes you unique. Well, let's talk about your wish fulfillment here. Some of you are going to go like bungee jumping. It's funny, on the metaphor of taking a leap of faith. Some of you are actually doing like that's what I mean, like an extreme sport. I keep getting that. So I don't know if it's bungee jumping, it doesn't have to be quite that extreme, but honestly, for some of you though, it's like the exhilaration of honestly making it through something you weren't certain you were going to be able to make it through. It feels like you are celebrating in a very live, dare I say, kind of crazy devil may care way. To be honest, I don't see anything wrong. Like, no, don't. Like, I think you're being safe about it. You're Virgo, right? I probably don't have to tell you that. By all means, I wouldn't go extra hard on the alcohol or the substances. That would not be good for you. But I see you celebrating in a major way. And you may actually attract some attention because of that. Are you going to start dating your scuba instructor? That's like the movie Skeleton Twins. Have you guys seen that? I don't know, whatever this final celebration or party or like a hurrah, whatever you do with your friend, or there's something you do to celebrate an achievement in your life. Maybe you just booked a huge deal and there's a huge paycheck coming and you're like, I'm buying a new house. Whatever that is, you may actually meet a romantic partner or a business partner doing it. So maybe you connect with a realtor and you guys have a really nice banter and, something about your personal achievement actually opens up the door to romance as well. And if it's not romance, it could be very long-term, stable, reliant business partnership. Like you guys collaborate on multiple things. Even, I say this to you a lot, even if they work in a completely different career field, there's something mutual that you guys can do for one another to help each other out. This sounds like sexual favors. No, I'm just kidding. It kind of did though when I said that. All right, tell me more about this wish fulfillment. Yeah, do you see how there's buried treasure here? Like at the bottom of the ocean, that's such a good metaphor, in the deep, dark pits of the things we're embarrassed about, or, the scars from our childhood, the wounds from the ex-lover. There's something so valuable, and I'm not justifying it in terms of you had to go through it, but more or less, it actually helped you on the other end of it, because you conquered something you never thought you could. You faced your shadow side. Some of you may actually compete in the Olympics, or do something, again, very like extreme sports. It doesn't have to be the Olympics, but some extreme competition. You may be doing like a Tough Mudder at some point, or whatever those things are called, Spartan races. Five of Water, yeah, when you bridge the gap. The Five of Cups is what's holding you back, something that was lost, especially a person in your life too. Again, it's saying not all is lost, the two cups remain. Sometimes it feels like you're swimming upstream. The endurance and the energy to do it will be worth it because that's where your wildest dreams are. A lot of metaphors about water too. So you might be doing some sort of business or career that's very environmentally friendly. I said the same thing to Capricorn. They had tons of energy about purification of water systems and ecosystems and like making preservation of lands and bodies of water. So it could be something very environmentally driven, or again, working with animals, specifically oceanography, or what's the term, like sea life, marine biology, something like that, if that appeals to you. Yeah, there's partnership. If your wish fulfillment is simply love and, money too, but the two kind of coincide together. And I've been saying that in Cancer's reading a lot too. So it might just involve another Cancer. Sorry. All right, so final message here, the 10 of Cups. Oh my goodness, I think this is the second or third time you've had the 10 of Cups. Great card of family dynamics, Virgo. So again, this might not be your story now, but things can turn on a dime. Energy is fluid, it fluctuates. So if it is your dream to start a family and have kids, or the opposite, go into this career field and kick ass or whatever, it's saying your dreams are entirely possible. Don't you dare write them off. Look at his big old belly. It's full of potential, right? That's what I'm saying, the pits of the subconscious, your intuition, it already exists within you. It's about tapping in there and getting it out. And sometimes doing that is a very arduous, difficult process because you do by default have to deal with things that are kind of uncomfortable. The skeletons in the closet, it will be worth it. The Lovers card came out. Do you understand what I'm saying here? You may actually meet someone from a different cultural background, a different ethnicity, somebody who speaks a foreign language. I said the same thing to Sagittarius, so it's possible that your readings may coordinate in some way. Yeah, you may meet someone during travel or transit where they come from a very different, could even be a different spiritual or religious upbringing. There's something about the blending of cultures. And that sort of goes back to what we were saying too about changing the ancestry, the bloodline. There might be some sort of beautiful merging of two different stories and you guys come together and create this epic thing together. There's sparks, there's magic, and I just keep looking at her face and it's like, this feels so good. There's a moment of being very grateful and expressing gratitude and kind of just taking stock of what's around you and almost pinch me, am I dreaming? Is this really my life? Yeah, because you created it, because you manifested, because you didn't give up even when you wanted to, Virgo. You have very strong cards. Some of you need to burn the memory box of old poetry or the photographs of that lover that it's like you've kept them hidden away. That's what I mean. Expose it. Are you going to do something with those love poems? Are you going to reconnect with that lover? Or is it, and here's why I'm saying this, is if it's nostalgic and sentimental and it makes you happy to look back and reflect, cool, keep it. If you pull out these treasures of, oh my God, I held on to his t-shirt because it smells good, that's not healthy. Universe is saying, I get it, but if tangibly, physically, they are no longer in your life and they're married, do you have to burn the poetry? You don't have to, but is it worth it? Is it lowering your vibe by sending signs to the universe that I'm still holding on to this one? It's taking stock of what is bringing you love and fulfillment in your life and what isn't. What is dragging you down? I'm almost getting almost like a spiritual religious ceremony of sending, it's like a Viking funeral, right? When you make that little boat and light it on fire and you send it off into the world. That metaphorically is something you need to do with an ex or even maybe a family member or a business partner where you're holding on to them, but it's not healthy anymore. It's run its course. It's an old cycle. That might be what you're graduating from. Someone who you once thought was your forever person. It doesn't mean the forever person isn't out there. I promise you they are. But holding on to the memory of the lost loved one, and I don't mean death, obviously. I'm talking about the one who went and got married to someone else. Holding on to that, it's not doing anything for you energetically. It's time to focus on fresh water, right? The freshwater fish, 2 of Cups. It's new, it's different, it's fun, it's exciting, it's dating. Mad sparks and chemistry. You may meet them through friends of friends of friends of networking. Yeah, you're being asked to mentally and emotionally detach from what is lowering your vibration. And yeah, for a lot of you, I see a job at some point that will involve a lot of travel. So I don't know if you work primarily out of your car and you visit people at their residence, or I don't know, maybe you're going to be a pilot, or you're going to do something in flight, or there's a lot of business travel, or there's something about a lot of travel is coming up for you in the future. I know right now it's kind of a weird time, so I'm not saying this is going to happen in January, but you may end up getting a job that would either here's the thing, it may require you to move to a different location or city, or you may be working in the travel industry. Maybe you're a travel agent, maybe you're an Uber driver, like something that would involve a lot of transit and travel. But I think you would enjoy it, and some of you may even be working to like transport animals. I don't know if it has to do with like rehabilitation and like sending them back out into nature, like maybe you have a little like rehab for like turtles and sea creatures. I don't know what it is, but it's releasing animals back out into their habitat. Or I'm even going to say this, Virgo, again, animals and children are keep kind of going together. You may be helping at some sort of, I'm hearing the word foster. So, children who aren't in healthy or safe households, you may help find them a better home, whatever that would be called. And again, you might not be doing actually that, but you may be supporting a company that does that. Or, getting people back into healthy and safe and almost like fresh environments where they can breathe again. Some of you may work with actually like respiratory type stuff, something about being able to breathe, asthma. Some of you need to refill your asthma inhaler. No, I don't know what that is, but something medical, maybe specifically dealing with the lungs. That may also indicate something with a Gemini, because I believe Gemini kind of rules the lungs and breathing, and something about that may be significant to you or possibly your partner or even your child, right? All right, let's pull you some oracle cards and we will wrap her on up. For Virgo, the healing card that Virgo needs to see in the month of January. Sentimental feelings. Well, that's appropriate. I feel like we said that a lot. Sentimental feelings. A lot of you are going to bridge a gap with someone in your family who there's bad blood. Like something went wrong, and you're both probably very headstrong, but you're both also very sentimental and wanting to fix it. I think you will. I don't know. I feel like it's a matter of time. I think something about this will come back around and heal itself. But, being, I heard arrogant, Virgo, being difficult about it, that's not helping. So, I don't know. It's not like that whole thing I said about your maternal, like motherly instincts. Use that part of you, not kind of like the mean girl energy. Even if you're a dude, that did come up a little bit earlier, especially with the mother-in-law. That there could be weird issues with the mother-in-law. All right. Oh, look, it did come out after all. You can't make this up, can you? Leo got this card too, and I think one of the Earth signs did. I want to say maybe Taurus did. So again, you're going through the muck, but you're going to bloom on the other side, and it's going to be great. There may be a Leo in your future. It might be a best friend or a new best friend or romantic partner or a business partner, something about a Leo coming through, or possibly a Cancer. And some of you are going to travel to like Japan. I don't know why I'm seeing that on this card, but I am. And then last but not least, summer solstice, radiance. So again, the sun, that absolutely makes me think of Leo and children. So some of you children may play a very key role in your life in the coming months, whether you are pregnant or you're going to be an aunt for the first time or an uncle or something about children that could have to do with your career. And summer solstice is probably a timestamp. Again, I said Cancer with this. They are the cardinal sign. They start the summer months off. So something with a Cancer Leo cusper may factor into this later on for you, Virgo. But take it as a timestamp. If you could, shake your crystal ball and manifest anything to come into fruition in the summertime, what would it be? Is it romance? Is it a kick-ass job? Is it a business collaboration? If this is a timestamp, and set it yourself as a timestamp, make this a goal for yourself. What is it you wish to manifest for summer, right? And if it doesn't happen, don't kick yourself over it, right? Let that encourage your endurance to move forward even more. But it's like, give yourself a deadline or a due date. That would be helpful. Again, Capricorn season, we're breaking it down to be practical and useful, right? That's what we want to do in Capricorn season. So anyway, I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. Ooh, look at that. Set your damn intentions. Manifestation. And do you see how there's like a body figure back there? Again, something about clothing making. You may be making like spiritual jewelry or garbs or religious ceremony stuff. I don't know what that is. Transformation is coming in for you. I see a big old snake there. So who's year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac? That's something you want to ask yourself too. Virgo, that's what I got for you. Please like, share, subscribe. I hope you guys have a kick-ass 2021. I will see you in about a week for more love tarots. Thanks for tuning in, Virgo.